Hey, Kareem, what'd you think of the young corners coming in and how they played, and how much will a week of practice help with getting the chemistry between Bassey and Ojamudi and you guys?
I think they stepped in. I think they played very well. For it to be their first NFL game without any preseason games, just all practice and camp practice. I think they stepped in. I think they played very well. I think every week, they'll get better. They're starting to learn more and more. As far as the scheme, they'll get a lot more comfortable in the scheme and learning where their help will be, and just kind of getting on the same page with me and Justin and some of the other guys. I mean, week to week, it's all about experience in this league. So for them, I think it'll only help them. They'll get better.
Next up, Arnie Stapleton.
Hey, Kareem, the NFL used, in this last game coming up, they had the social justice messages at the end of the end zone, a little bit smaller than the team names. But I'm wondering if you noticed it, if you thought they were effective, and did you think maybe those messages would be elsewhere on the field or in any larger type or anything? What do you think?
At this point, I think anywhere that they put them that's visible, I think they're definitely helpful. Right now, we're in a tough time. Preferably the African American community, with social injustice, and the thing about it is lots of people watch, sports on a day-to-day basis. So for us to, as a league, to have it on the field and, for us to have it, Monday night, I'm sure there's tons of viewers. It's little things like that, it's helpful and to get us and get this country going in the right direction.
Next up, Mike Kliss.
Yeah, Kareem, and the time you've been with the Broncos, you've had 4 losses where your defense played well but couldn't close out that final drive, where you were on the field. If you stop them on the last drive, you win the game, and you weren't able to close out the deal. Have you guys talked about that, what you need to do to close?
Obviously we have to execute. For us, I don't think, just coming down to that last drive, determine the game. I think, we go back and we look at us defensively in the third down category. I think they might have had 7 or 8 third downs with 3 or less. So for us, we got to get better in third down categories, and give ourselves a chance, when it comes to that. Maybe if we get a couple more stops on third down early in the game, it don't even come down to us having to get that last stop. But we just have to execute. That's all we can do as a defense. We all have to be on the same page, all 11 of us. And we have to execute what's being called and give ourselves a chance to close out at the end of the game.
Next up, Eric DeLalla.
Yeah, Kareem, you guys talked last week about how Tannehill doesn't give you many opportunities to intercept passes. Does Roethlisberger give you a few more with his ability to extend plays?
Going into the Tennessee week, we didn't expect him to throw it as much as he did, but even that, he didn't take very many shots. Pretty much everything was quicks or, right around the sticks. But going into this game, we all know Big Ben is going to throw it around the yard, quite a bit. We should definitely have some opportunities to get our hands on some balls. He's a big-time quarterback in this league. And so they're going to let him run the show as he's done for the last, decade. So for us, it's just all about being in the right place at the right time, executing as a defense, and for us, just going out and straining ourselves to make those extra plays that we need to be successful as a defense.
Next one, Jeff Flagwell.
Kareem, I'm just curious in terms of Essang Bassey. Can you describe for people what that's like for him to – he's probably not expecting to play on defense, and suddenly he's in the game playing all those snaps as an undrafted rookie?
Well, I mean, I don't think it was difficult for him. He actually ran a couple of days with the one, so just being out there with us, at that point in time in the game, it was some familiarity to it for him. But I mean, in some situations it can be overwhelming, but I think he was very well prepared. He stepped in and he handled himself like he's been there before. So I don't think the moment was too big for him at all. like I said, I think all the young guys stepped in and played well in the secondary.
Do you think it would have been more difficult for him had he not had those couple days in practice when he was with you guys in the nickel?
No, I don't think so. I think he's the type of player. He's very smart. He's been very consistent since day one, since he's been here. And I think that's why that opportunity presented itself for him, and he stepped in and played the way he did. I think the coaches have confidence in him and know what he's capable of. So I don't think, even if he hadn't had those couple of days with, getting some reps in the slot with the ones, I think he still would have stepped in and played, just the way he did.
Next up to our right, time for a few more after Troy.
Kareem, you've been in this league a long time. I mean, history's not kind necessarily to teams that start 0-2, but is it different this year with patience, with no preseason, an extra playoff team? Do you have to try to balance urgency and perspective given how odd this offseason was?
I mean, can say that, but for us, we don't want to balance urgency and perspective. For us, we want to do what we need to do to win. We don't want to give ourselves a timetable and say, all right, well, no preseason, we got a couple weeks to get it right. Now we want to get it right off the bat. Obviously Monday night the outcome wasn't what we wanted it to be, but for us, we have to take it as a learning experience and just keep going forward. It's a long season. We got to make corrections this week, and look forward to Sunday because it's another opportunity for us to go out and get a win and to continue to build off of that. So for us, we want to get it right now, and we want to get into that win column and continue to take steps in the right direction.
Last one, Brandon.
K-Jack, with that's like you, Justin, Bryce, who knows his defense so well. Do y'all make a point, or will you make a point to over-communicate with the two rookies on the field, or did you on Monday? Is that the plan so that the three of you are in their ears extra during the game? I know it happens fast, but is there?
Yeah, just try to make sure we're all on the same page with them. I mean, like I said, obviously being their first game, not really knowing how they're going to handle it, but you have to kind of get in the game and see, how they're going to process things. And like I said, they both handled themselves very well. They played very well. So still, obviously want to over communicate just to make sure that it's everything is certain when that ball snaps. So for us, whether it's rookies or whether it's just me and Justin, we still want to over communicate regardless of who it is. Regardless if they're a first year guy, if they're a 10, 11-year guy. Over communicate. You can never over communicate. You can never talk about things too much. So for us, being in the secondary, that's one of the things that we definitely have to do, regardless of what year guy is.